Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Apartment 308 YouTube channel. Yes, as you can clearly tell, this is another letter from us to you. Yeah, that's right. It's not from me to you. It's from us to you. And today I got on board. I got my buddy Ryan. Say hello, Ryan.
Hello, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. You guys have seen Ryan here on the channel a lot of times. You've seen him on the last this or that video where we discussed groceries. We also had him on the Zoom class discussion, but since a letter from us to you is all about trying to take care of ourselves, trying to better our mental health, just us giving our best advice, our best experience to you guys, and one thing that me and Ryan have always been constantly talking about in our chats is the issue of like where do we move forward in our futures. And it's not only us, of course, it's everyone we know is having this issue right now.
It kind of feels like your life has been on pause, but as soon as you like press play, it just like it's gonna like fall apart. It kind of feels like it's gonna fall apart immediately afterwards.
Ooh, that is one way of saying it, Ryan. Damn.
Yeah, that's kind of how like this whole pandemic felt to me. Like, plus it's also like it also kind of like feels like I'm paying the price for something I didn't do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, with the pandemic, like no one really expected this. Of course, no one really expected it. No one was prepared for it. Everything just turned into shambles.
Well, we could have done something, but that's just like a different. That's a different topic on a different forum.
Yeah.
We're just.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we're just here to talk about something else. So go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. So I was about to ask like you, Ryan, because I felt this experience as soon as like last year happened, but like I finally figured out like because for context, guys, I'm studying graphic design, and Ryan here he's studying game development here, and so for me,
yes.
Yeah, so on my things, like, when the pandemic hit, I'm junior year in college, I know what to, like, finally do now, and I said to myself, like, I want to be, like a travel, like, I want to work for either, like, a tourist company, or, be, like, an independent, like, travel guy that, like, posts blogs and stuff of, like, places I've been to. Like, I finally figured that out, but then, COVID-19 hit. My chances of traveling got reached down to 0, and I was like, ah, fuck. And yeah,
everything was peaceful until COVID attacked.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. During this whole time, like during this pandemic, I was just so lost. Like, my original plan of just becoming like a travel dude or like working for a tourist company, I'm like, well, that's definitely down the drain now. No one's flying around anywhere these days.
Yeah, I kind of had like somewhat the same situation, but nah. I'll let you guys be the judge. Mainly, I was supposed to be graduating this semester, and for context, it's spring semester of 2021. However, I had to like push this semester back mainly because of two things. Like one, it was the Zoom classes because like teachers kept on piling homework on us to the point like where we just can't like work on anything else. It all has to be school. So I had to like put career hunting aside, or on the back boilerplate, just so I could focus on school. And the second thing is that when the pandemic hit, a lot of my opportunities pretty much faded away because I was supposed to be like trying to get into internships, but however, like as soon as the pandemic hit, a lot of companies did not know what to do with interns, so they just canceled their internships, and so therefore like it left me like a whole summer with nothing to do. A lot of my internships are just go like, okay, you gotta need to be a student and you have to be graduating before this date, or else we're not gonna hire you. And that's like one of the biggest issues that I have. So So I want to like have some experience, but it's kind of like put like my whole career into question now. So eventually, like it's just like I'm now internships are now opening up again, and I do have someone. I do have someone from a different from a certain company. It's not a game development company, but it's some way to get my foot in the door. So I'm just gonna take whatever shot I can get at this point.
Dude, seriously, that comes in really clutch. But
yeah, definitely.
yeah, but I've been hearing from like a lot of friends lately, Ryan, that internships are getting harder and harder to get into because of, well, not only internships, part-times, full-time jobs. They're getting really harder and harder for anyone to enter now. Like in the requirements, saying you need like 2+ years of experience, or you need like 4+ years of this thing. And some of us, like, we never worked before, like some of us are still students. So yeah, I think one of the other major things is like, for someone like me and maybe a couple others listening in, like, it's the requirements for jobs sometimes can scare us because we're not that experienced yet. Some of us are still learning from it. So I don't know, what do you say to that?
I kind of do agree, but on a computer science standpoint, like you also kind of have like people who are hiring, and they expect you to like learn a certain language that has been for like 20 years, but has came out like in 5 years. Like for example, I always see this a lot, and is that there are like certain development companies that are just going like this, oh yeah, you must know Swift like from 10 to 20 years. And it was released on June the 2nd on 2014. I'm not making this shit up.
Yikes. What the heck?
Yeah. It's a little bit more, it's kind of a little bit more difficult if you're trying to like into a software development or like anything technological, is because like you're also dealing with people who have no idea on what computer science is, or they look at the current language and they're just like, oh yeah, that looks like a good language. I want a person who has a lot of experience in it, but that language is just like released a couple years ago, so you're not gonna find anyone like who has 20 years experience of a language that was developed like at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, I honestly do feel like companies need to tone down a bit on, their requirements.
They also need to understand that like sometimes you don't know everything. So and you need to do your research more thoroughly. Like
right.
Like who knows, like yes, Swift has came out in 2014, but however, like what are the benefits of Swift? Because there are like programming languages that have certain benefits. Like C++ and Java are basically from like the C language derivative, but however they operate differently. Like C++ is really good for games because because it works natively with the CPU. Thus, it makes it run faster. Right. Java, on the other hand, is more so garbage collection. So therefore it releases memory up. But however, it runs on a virtual environment, it runs on an interpreted environment, so therefore it runs slower. So you gotta know like what are some trade-offs with using certain languages.
Yeah.
Anywho, before we get that far into it, like let's get back to like the topic at hand.
I was about to say, Ryan, like, I mean, I was fortunate enough last semester to actually find an internship. So I will say there's a diamond in the rough out there for anyone.
Yeah. I'm honestly kind of at the point on my end where I'm just like, hey, look at your internship. Are they looking for computer scientists?
Yeah. So yeah, well, I will say it's surprisingly how many people like gave me a lot of props for finding an internship, even though I'm not getting paid for it. Though I mean, the experience is definitely worth it. I will say it's
still getting your foot in the door. Like no matter what, it's like You could even pay them for hiring your butt, and that will still be keeping your foot in the door.
Right.
It's just like, and then like once you get that resume going and you just go like this, boom, I worked at this company, and everybody like, well, obviously you have the experience, you hired. But however, that's like my main issue, like with internships. Well, me finding internships right now is just like, since when like COVID like ravaged everything, like it's just like, I like now like, okay, so now what? Like once I graduate college,
Yeah.
how the heck am I supposed to like? How the hell am I supposed to get a job?
Yeah.
If they expect me to have experience.
That's
Because computer science is also like they want the cream of the crop.
That's the thing for me too. Like, I'm on my last semester. Well, currently, as I'm recording this, you got set back a semester, like a semester or two, and yeah, like.
Well,
dude.
I could have graduated this semester, but like I said, like there was like a bunch, there was like a multitude of reasons why I held myself back.
Yeah, and
Honestly, I think I'll be like better off because of it.
yeah, and like I said, like my original plan for becoming like working in like travel stuff, like that got ruined. But then I'm in the capstone class, and my teacher asked me, okay, so what is your capstone plan, and what is like your potential like dream job? And honestly, I tried coming up with different ideas for capstone all like winter break. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and do this. No, that plan didn't follow through. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. It's a little bit too risky for me to go out into the world. So then,
If I sorry to interrupt. If I could offer like some wisdom at this point, when I was in community college, I took a creative thinking class, if I'm correct.
Really?
It's been a while. Or creative writing class, and one of the books that we had to read was a manga called The Adventures of Johnny Bunko, and it was actually about like.
Wait, hold up, y'all read a manga in class?
Yeah, I know. The guy who wasn't a part of the anime episode, who rarely watches anime, actually read a manga. But basically, it was about this guy who was actually struggling with his career and about his like prospects in his current life. But however, like one of the first lessons of that book was just like, you can't actually really make a foolproof plan in life. Like there'll be sometimes like it will go your way, but however there will be sometimes where it will not go your way. It's how you react to it is how you get ahead in life. You can't just like, I'm taking like I'm looking at a software development internship, even though like I'm mainly game development. I'm trying to like I'm trying to take advantage of like, okay, honestly, like it's probably not gonna work for me in this area because I'm still like trying to like find some internships in game development. But however, like maybe if I like work on this thing, maybe if I work in this area for a bit, then I could still like get to the point where I'm at. It's more so basically like one of the things that you should not be doing in this time is just like expecting your plan just like coming back into like how you expected it to be. You just kind of had to be. You just had to be proactive instead of reactive.
Right, and yeah, I'm gonna agree with that, Ryan. It's like, yeah, because just like the pandemic, like you can't really plan for everything. And for me, like I had this idea of this podcast for the longest time, like the whole YouTube channel. I had this idea, but then I was like very doubtful of myself. I was like, do I really want to launch this channel? Do I really want to like put a lot of effort into this? And honestly, yeah, like it paid off. Like with the support of like you and everyone that's been on the channel. I'm like, this is the part where it's like I'm making myself the most happy. But the main concern is this is actually the capstone project for this year. And one of the biggest like anxieties I had about this channel is like, how far can I really take this? Like, will this be like actually my future career? Will just me being on YouTube doing this? Maybe.
Heck, who even knows? Like, maybe this channel. Who knows? Maybe this channel might get monetized, or maybe who knows? Like, maybe like because of the success of this channel, maybe I might get my own YouTube channel. Who knows? Like,
it's like you said, Ryan. It's like, it's really based on like, how do you react to the stuff life throws at you? So like for me, like I had this idea for the podcast.
You don't react. Sorry, you don't react to what's.
You don't react?
You be proactive.
Oh, proactive. I thought you said react. My bad.
You don't react. You be proactive.
Yeah.
Like you try to be two steps ahead of life.
Right. And I guess that can be said for me in this channel. Like first of all, I didn't really plan to make this like my real thing. But, honestly, like I said before, like the more I keep doing this and the more I'm like studying about like what I can do to actually make this a successful channel, it does include like a lot of anxiety, but at the same time, like you'll get the gratitude once you like figure it out.
Yeah. And plus like another lesson is that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Oh.
So
thank God I took the shot on launching this thing, dude.
Yeah, it's a really good shot, and I think it's starting to pay off. So honestly, just keep on going with it, man.
Oh yeah. I want to ask you, Ryan, like kind of changing subjects a little bit, but at what age do you think everyone starts to think about like their future career?
It kind of depends. Like, it kind of depends because, like, I started thinking about my future career, like, when I was, like, 5. And it was, like,
well,
more
realistic careers, I'm saying.
Okay, can I please, like, finish?
Yeah, sure, sorry.
Basically, when I started thinking about my careers, I was just, like, going, like, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a mailman, I want to be an astronaut.
I think that's for all of us, Ryan. I think all of us have went through that phase.
Yeah, I know. Like, I would still count it. Like, you're still thinking about your future careers. In fact, maybe sometimes there are some people out there who really do become a fireman, an astronaut, or a mailman. I was actually like talked out of being an astronaut because, like, I think it was because like my family does not want me to die. But however, like, I did not like start thinking about my current prospects until like I was like in my second half of high school.
Right.
That's when I was just like, okay, so maybe it's also like one of the reasons why I got into community college. I was just like, maybe I should try out programming for a bit while I'm in college, like, because since when I was in junior college, like, a lot of the roads were open up to me, so I could just go like, okay, so if I did not like programming, maybe I could try animation. Maybe if I did not try animation, maybe I could get into science. Maybe I could get into botany or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you're a person who is like starting to get out of high school, I would recommend that you should take community college first because like a lot more doors are open to you that way. Instead of just like going straight to a 4-year and then you're locked into your major.
Yeah, and also, Ryan, I kind of want to also add into like, well, from my perspective, a lot of friends I knew back in high school, like, yeah, they started thinking about their careers like when they were just a junior in high school, and I'm just sitting there, it's like, we still have time to think about stuff, but then college applications happen, choosing your major happens, and yeah. Like, well, I mean, for me, I started off as like, I wanted to be a CS major. I wanted to study programming. I wanted to be like a network security guy. But it's like, when you're in college, I think that's when your real like ideas start to pop out. Like, what you really want to do, it just appears in front of you. And this is not to bash on you, Ryan, or any other CS majors that are like out there, but CS wasn't my thing as I kept studying it. Like, I didn't feel satisfied, I didn't feel happy with it. And there were times too I like felt mentally like drained from working in it. So That's why I switched over to being a graphic designer, because
Honestly, I met a lot of people in your shoes, and I totally get it. Like,
yeah,
CS is not for everyone. Like, I know like people want the job security and the high paycheck. However, it's like it's not for everyone. Like, sometimes
right.
it's pretty much just like communicating to someone in a different language, except you keep on screwing up, and you have to tweak on how to say your sentence. Except there's like a shit ton of math involved.
Yeah.
I think like one of the issues why people just like tend to like think about their careers until it's too late, and it's mainly because like in America, like I don't think we like give kids like a prospect into like what or like any ideas. Like we're just like this. They have to do the main things: math, science, history.
Well, I mean, I get those are like.
That's the only thing I came off the top of my head.
I get.
Like they want to focus on general education rather than just like, okay, so like you want to like become a mechanic here's what's like being a mechanic. If you want to become a computer scientist, let's go to the Intel Museum. Or if you want to be a fireman, like let's go to the nearest fire station. Like we kind of have this thing where we just don't try to inspire kids to like pursue a certain career. We're just kind of like, okay, you're doing your general education. Once you graduate, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it. Like, we're supposed to learn everything. Like, these are supposed to be like the quote unquote essentials. But like, it's like you said, Ryan. It's like I kind of feel like if we really want to start thinking about careers at early age, show us an example. And also, I want to add like another thing too. It's like, for any of y'all out there, freshmen, college students, don't be ashamed, or anyone about to be a freshman in college, don't be ashamed if you're undeclared. That is actually the best way for you to start figuring out where you want to go. It's not.
Sorry. Can I also add something to it?
Sure.
Don't be pressured into going directly to a 4-year as well. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, community college has their own benefits. Like, and plus, you're not gonna be missing out on a whole lot. You're just gonna try to see like what majors work for you, and that's the perfect sandbox environment for a career. And secondly, if anyone is from a different country and they actually have like a career prospect thingamabob, as I just explained before like people get out of high school or secondary school, like please leave it in the comment. Let us know, because I want to know.
And it's like that. Like I feel like for me, it's like life is gonna set you a path. It's just up to you if you really want to take that route or not.
I would slightly disagree on that. I think life is not determined until like you experienced it. Like the future is just like not just like 2 paths or 3 paths. It's millions of paths. There's like millions. There's like infinite possibilities that could happen to you.
I think that's a better way of saying it, Ryan.
Yeah, so basically it's just like you just need to know, like you just need to like focus on the here and now, and just try to like give yourself I forgot what I was going with
like breathing
just
room,
try to
you mean?
Yeah, just give yourself breathing room. Just focus on the here and now. And thirdly, don't be pressured into going into careers that you're not that you don't want to be in. Like I know like the whole thing, like your parents forcing you to becoming a doctor. Honestly, I don't think everyone is gonna be built to be a doctor, because like what if you're asked to become a surgeon and you're just like squeamish, or you just can't handle the pressure.
Right. And that's another thing I want to add is like, you kind of feel what you feel like doing too. So if you want to become an artist out there, you become an artist. You want to study music out there, you study music. If you want to program a game, you become a game designer too. Like, and you know,
Yeah.
despite the challenges COVID-19 has hit us, like, there's still many opportunities still. Like, and it's just us. It's just
Oh,
up
sorry.
to us. Sorry, yeah, but it's just up to us as
Sorry.
students to just adapt. Like I said with Tran in the last letter, it's like we humans know how to adapt to like certain stuff. Oh,
It's
you
just
go.
more so like when you choose to adapt. That's the thing.
Right.
Like you can't just choose to adapt later. Just choose to adapt now. It's alright. I thought I was gonna say something, but I keep on forgetting.
Well, trying to combine like the ideas we had, like, you know.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Sorry.
Oh, you got.
Sorry. Now I remember. Another thing is that, like I said, don't be pressured to going into a career that you don't think you're gonna be happy with, especially especially from your parents. Like, don't be pressured by your parents as well.
That, yeah.
Because it's their responsibility to live their life, not their responsibility for them to live your life.
Yeah, like you, and you know, just trying to combine like everything we said, Ryan. It's like you know, like you said, there's like a million paths for you to take, and you know, you just feel like which path you think is good for you. I mean, sure, later in life, you'll realize that you might want to change or modify it, but you know, just, you know, I think best way to say it, just go with the flow.
That's pretty much it. Just
Go with the flow.
Except unless you're being carried away by a riptide.
Okay. But yeah.
Okay, that's my one funny thing I get to say.
Yeah.
Anywho, also these like suggestions can't just all only be applied to the like our current situation, the pandemic. Like if you're like watching this like 10 or maybe 30 years down the line, this could also be applied currently to your situation as well. Like
yeah.
this is like not a pandemic thing. Like this is just like a universal thing.
You know, yeah, like even before then, like a lot of friends I knew, they were like struggling trying to like figure out what they want to do in life back in like everything was in person. I have a friend in Japan that's like, you know, very upset with her job right now because she finally realizes like this isn't the thing for her. Like this isn't the thing she really wants to do. And, you know, and then when she finally figured it out, COVID hit, and then, you know, her idea of that other job just constantly vanished. But, you know, she's still trying her best. She's still finding a different job out there that, you know, makes her happy, makes her, you know, feel mentally healthy.
Oh, sorry. Another thing that you could do is just like don't go for like a job that suits your skill set. Just do a job that you consider a hobby. Right.
Like why like me in this channel, like I like this at first this is a hobby, but now since it's my capstone, and this is a thing that my teacher said to me when I was talking to him about it. It's like when I presented him the idea of this YouTube channel, he said, you know, Brian, since I see that you are putting a lot of passion, love, and effort for this channel, like, I'm gonna agree with you saying this is your capstone for this year. Because this is something you love to do. This is something I think makes you happy. It has a lot of potential for growth. And honestly, after hearing him saying that, I was like super, like, I was emotionally happy. I was like, no way. Like, because the thing with capstone is like everyone makes it out to be like a big professional thing. But you know, I feel like, again, this is supposed to be the thing you want to do, what you want to do with your life, and this is the path you chose, and you know, you either go for it or, you know, just, you know.
Honestly, I just gotta say you're really lucky with your capstone thing. Like we kind of like get, for CS students, we kind of get our capstone like predetermined. So
yeah.
So I'm most likely I'm not gonna do any game development stuff.
Oh yeah, but you know, that just goes to shows like everything. I would say everything's not set in stone. Like I'd say everything is just still experiments. It's still a new adventure out there.
Life is one big experiment.
Exactly. Like you can try out so many different things until you find the one thing like you feel so happy with.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's not like whenever you're making anyone else happy, it's how you make yourself happy.
Yeah, and also for people in our generation, Ryan, people our age, or anyone listening in that's in high school or maybe even middle school, I'm sorry for all the swearing, but we are all still
I
relatively
think they're
young.
here for the swearing then.
Yeah, no, but I want to say, like, we're all still relatively young. Despite some of us about to finish college, and for some of you guys that are like in college or about to enter college, like, yeah, technically we still have a lot of time to like think about what we want to do. And like I said, I never planned for this channel. Well, I mean, I kind of did, but I never planned it to be like my future thing. It just so happened because I had this idea, I went for it. I feel freely content with it, and well, not why did I say free? Fully content with it, and also, yeah, I had people to back me up on this, which I feel.
Actually, no. Can I just say something? Like, I think you were like floating the idea about around here and there, and then you kind of like went for it on a spur of the moment thing, and then now look at us.
Yeah, sure, yeah, and sure. Like in the beginning, it was like very stressful. I didn't really fully develop a full plan for this. Like the first couple of videos, those were just test runs, but then as I kept making more of these shows and doing these sessions with like different friends, like yeah, like I'm starting to learn how to build like a better like channel, and also just a better way for people to get entertained, to feel mentally healthy in life. So, and yeah, that's my goal with this channel now, just having not only just having your friends over just listening in to a whole bunch of bullshit that happens, but just take away some big lessons, just like in this letter from us.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
So to wrap things up, just like in the last letter I did with my friend Tran, what are some of the key main points you think people should take away from this letter from us to them?
Okay, so one of the biggest things that I would say you should consider is that, like, don't think your plan is gonna go out without a hitch. Life is always gonna like figure out a way to like in your way, and it's more so on how you be proactive instead of reactive. Another thing is just like don't do the job that doesn't make you happy, or don't do a job that like can't be like the most financially well off. Like sometimes, like I said, sometimes not all people are built doctors or built computer scientists. And thirdly, just try to do like whatever like Brian and I said, is just like do what makes you happy, like maybe like a hobby or something. So like if you enjoy art, go ahead and do some art stuff. If you enjoy like being tinkering with stuff, like maybe being an inventor or maybe like being an auto mechanic. It's just like whatever like makes you happy is the best option. Even if it doesn't pay well, or you may not get glory in the future, just do what makes you happy.
Right. And I on my end, I kind of want to finish off with like two quotes that I've heard from before. This first quote is from Jay from Day 6. He said this on his own podcast, which you guys should check out. I love listening in on the show. But Jay said, you are a tennis ball. Yes, you are a tennis ball. As a tennis ball, you're gonna go in a certain direction. Life's gonna hit you in a like certain direction. And I mean, sure, you can try to like steer away from what life is trying to throw at you. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you try to steer away from too much, then you're just gonna exhaust yourself. You're gonna feel mentally drained, physically drained. So, just keep going on the way that life's pointing at you. Like, if it's pointing at you saying, like, hey, you should become a musician or singer, then you just take that way that says life's throwing at you.
This is the way.
This is the way. And also, for, as a Catholic person myself, I had another Catholic friend tell me when I was at, like, a very low point in my high school life saying, God always has a plan for you. God has a plan. It's, the path right now, it's foggy. You can't clearly see it. But as you keep going down the path, you start to realize what God's trying to plan for you. And, he knows what he's doing. He's helping you. He's guiding you towards the way you want to go. So for anyone that's like religious out there, like, yeah, just keep your faith in God. He knows where to lead you in life.
God has a plan for me. Just granted, it's a weird ass plan, but it's still a plan.
Well, I mean, yeah, God has a plan for everyone. And just like I said, it's misty. You can't really see well, but the more you walk down it, the more you decide. You know, He's got you. He's got your back. Jesus got your back. But yeah, anyways, guys, we hope this letter from us to you about finding your future career, finding what to do in life later on. We hope that you use this letter if you're in this type predicament, and also, again, this letter is meant to also better your mental health, better to calm down any anxieties you have. And yeah, thank you, Ryan, for sharing your thoughts about, future careers.
Oh, no problem. I'm actually really glad to be here because, like, I think like this could be a really soul enriching talk that we just had here.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, signing off from now. Thank you for coming over to the apartment, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, see ya. Take care.